Thank you.
Oh, Ori, the baby must not be crying tonight. He's inside.
Yeah, no, not tonight. Also,
Yeah.
I had a cigar last night during the daf, so I didn't.
There you go. All right. All right. What's with Yuri Gross's party? I guess it's still going on.
He has a party?
I think Landau said they're making a little party for him in
Oh, that's so nice. Oh, that's so nice. I didn't even know. Not that I would have flown in.
Night.
I
He
wasn't
said that
gonna
on
fly
the
in.
daf. Said it on the daf. It's
I missed the end of it last night. It was too much kachim.
well.
What's the party for?
Then watch out for tonight. Then
Yeah.
watch out.
Yeah.
What was the party for?
Yuri Gross is engaged. Yuri Gross
Oh,
engaged.
Mazel tov.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. A lot to kachim tonight. So where we go. Daf Tesvarim Beis around. It's not really kachim. It's about the Beis Hamikdash. So take out your Beis Hamikdash charts if you have it, or get it on the app or whatever. Fine. Tanan Hassam. About 10 lines up from the bottom. So Tanan Hassam, yeah. Amar Lehem Amamuna. Also, just as a Hakdama, Rashi says that the Gemara now for the next blot has no shaykhis to Yuma. It's just because we had a stira before in different mishnayos between Tamid and Midas, mishnayos Midas, mishnayos Tamid. So therefore, the Gemara continues with a seeming stira also, and it's trying to answer up the stira, saying one Mishnah is one mandomer and another Mishnah is the other, right? Yeah, yesterday's daf and 2 days ago was one Mishnah is Rabbanon, one Mishnah is Abba Shol. So tonight we're going to try and say a different Mishnah, even though Be'etzim this has no shaykhs to Yuma. So Tanan Hassam, the Mamuna, right, would go tell, meaning the Mamuna is the Kohen Gadol who was in charge. He would go tell the other Kohanim, I don't know if he's the Kohen Gadol, but the Kohen, right? Rashi actually says the Skan Kohen would tell them, go bring a lamb from the room, from the lishka that has all the lambs, right? We had learned before that they always had 6 lambs on hand at all times in the Beis Hamikdash. They said, go take 6 lambs, right? V'haloi lishkas atlayim. Now, normally the word v'haloi is a kasha. Here it's not a kasha. It says v'haloi lishkas atlayim haisa b'mektzayat tzfainis ma'ravis. And thank you. The lishkas hatlayim, the room for the tlayim was in the corner, in the northwest corner of the, what do you call it? Of the Beis Hamikdash, right? Rashi says the Beis Hamikdash is the room that had the fire in it. That's where the Kohanim used to go to warm up, because, like we learned, the cold floors, and they walk barefoot. So that was like I would say the locker room for the Kohanim, right? So one corner was the place where they kept the lambs. And within that Beis Hamikdash, there were 4 different rooms. Achas lishkas hatlayim. One was for the lambs. Va'achas lishkas ha-chaysamos, like we had in Shkolim. One is the room for the chaysamos. Those are when you went to give in your money for the amount of flour and oil and water you need for the nesachim. So you used to get a receipt that you go show them that you paid for this and this amount of nesachim for your korbanos. Va'achas lishkas Beis Hamikdash, and one was where they kept the fire. Right, but this whole thing is the Beis Hamikdash. This is a small room that also had fire in it for them to warm up. And one was the place where they baked the lechem apanim. Right? Okay, so that's basically, and this was basically, it was in the northwest, was the room for the tlayim. Right? So this is the Mishnah in Midas. In the Beis Hamikdash, there were 4 rooms. They were like little rooms that opened up into a very big room. 2 were in the holy part of the Beis Hamikdash, and 2 were in the non-holy part of the Beis Hamikdash. Right? Meaning, if it's not in the non-holy part, then they could fall asleep, and etc. etc. It doesn't have the same chumah. And what they did is they put these little sticks there to so that like a line of demarcation, so that they know exactly where's the kodesh and where's the chol. And what did they do with these rooms? So Marav is Draimis, the southwest, he Heichal Lishkas Tale Carbon. Right? That was the room for the Tlai Carbon, which is going to be the stira, because here it says that the lambs were kept in the southwest. And the Mishna in Midas says that it was in the northwest. Right? So that's going to be the stira that we're going to try and answer up. Fine. What are the other 3 rooms? Fine. On Tamid Aleph, Draimis Mizrachis, the southeast, he Lishka Shahayu Eisen Balechem upon him. That was the place where they made the lechem upon him. Mizrachis Tzvainis, the northeast, Ba Ganzu Beis Chashmenoi Avne Mizbeach Sheshok Tzamachi Ovdi Kechavim. That was the room that the Chashmenoim, when the what do you call it? When the Greeks came and were mevaza the Mizbeach, so they kept the stones hidden in this room.
That's where they bowed. The 13 places, no?
Akara, where'd he go? Yakatzvi, we lost you.
Hello?
Yakatzvi, we can't hear you. We lost him. All right, maybe he'll log back in.
Benny, I think they bowed where Aaron was buried.
There's a 3 place. They had the whole bunch of places where they bowed. We just had it recently. And I think it was we should call them?
I think we had it here, wherever,
No,
but
here
it was
in
the
Yuma,
Aaron.
yeah.
It was the Aaron.
Yeah, I know
that
that, but then they said that there were 13 places where they bowed also. That's where they passed the wall. Yeah.
Right.
Should I put 1 bad seltzer and 1 good seltzer in, or just get rid of the bad seltzers first?
I guess let's get rid of the bad seltzer first. Oh, he dropped out of share. We lost him. Oh, I'm not muted.
There we go.
You're muted. You're muted.
I know. Relax, man. Relax. I don't know why it just knocks me off. Just stop like that. But I finished the daf meanwhile till I chop. So.
All right, L'chaim.
No, I'm sorry about that. I think I hopped pretty quick when that I was off. Anyway, so on the last of the rooms, right? So the base Chashminoim rooms was where the Chashminoim hid the stones in the Mizbeach, and Tzfainis Maravis in the northwest was Ba Yard in the Beis HaTfilah. Right? They went down to the Beis HaTfilah. Right? That's what the guy went down to the Beis HaTfilah. Whatever it is, the stira is about the rooms for the Tloim. Right? So Amar Rav Huna, Mantana Midas, Rebbe Elazar ben Yaakov. The man Amar in Midas is Rebbe Elazar ben Yaakov. So, and meaning there's 2 different Tanaim, so there's no problem. The Tanan. So now we have a long proof that the Mishna in Midas is Rebbe Elazar ben Yaakov. The Tanan, as those Nashim. Oh no, I don't know what happened there. Hold on a second. Yeah. The Tanan Ezra's Nashim Haisa Eirach Meya V'Shloishim B'Chamish Aroichev Meya V'Shloishim B'Chamish. The Ezra's Nashim had a width of was a square. It was 135 amas by 135 amas. I'm just gonna log off my other thing. Yeah, sorry. We there? You hear me now?
We got you.
Tanan. Okay, so Ezras Nashim Haisa Eirich Me'av Shloshim Chamish Al Reichev Me'av Shloshim Chamish. The Ezras Nashim, if the Olam has their charts out of the Beis Hamikdash here, it would be helpful. Is the Ezras Nashim was 135 by 135. Va'arba Lishkas Hayu B'Dal Mitzayzav. And in the Ezras Nashim, on each corner had 4 rooms, right? 4 rooms with no roofs. Mahoyu Mashamshis. What were they used for? Deraimis Mizrachis. So the southeast. He has a lishkas hanazirim. That's where the nazirim, the nazir hung out. Sham nazirim avashim es shalmei, and that's where the nazir cooked their carbon shalom. The carbon shalom had to be cooked, right? Umegalchan siren. That's where they cut the hair. Umeshachan tachas hadud, and then they would put the hair under the fire, right? With the fire they were using to cook the meat, they took the hair, and that's what they used. For fire. Mizrachis tzvainis in the northeast was he has a lishkas dir. That was the room that they did the wood. Shasham Kahan and Bali Mum, and that's where a Kohen who was a Baal Mum, he would go there and deworm the wood. Why? Any wood that had any worms in it was possible in Mizbeach. Tzvainis Maravis, what was in the northwest? He has a Lishkas HaMetzeroim. That's where the Metzeroim hung out. Right? That's when they had to go through their whole tahara with the mikvah. And then prepare the karbonos, and then they had to put the blood on their ear, right? That whole last week's parsha, right? So there was a mikveh in there too, whatever it was. That was in Maravas Draimis in the southwest. Amud R Elezar and Yaakov shachachti ma ha'isa mishameshes. R Elezar and Yaakov said, "I forgot what it was." Right. So what do you see? Whatever it is you see from this, that the Mishna and Midas is R Elezar and Yaakov, because R Elezar and Yaakov said, "I forgot what it was." So Midas is referring to R Elezar and Yaakov. Abashal said, no, he remembers what it was. The 4th room, they would put oil and wine in there. And that was called the house of oil. Whatever it is, you see from this that R Elezar ben Yaakov is the Tana and the Mishnah in Midas. And it's a different Tana, the Mishnah in Tamid, right? Fine. So now Hachanam Mistavra, the Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. We have it makes sense. The Svara makes sense that it's Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov and Midas Tatnan. Kol Aksalim Shayu Sham Hayu Gvayin. Right. The Art Scroll has a good chart for this. It's pretty necessary to understand it, I think. Yeah. Sorry. All the walls that were in the Beis Hamikdash, there were lots of walls in the Beis Hamikdash. They were all 20 amas high, right? But that was the minimum. Chutz mi kaisel mizrachi, except for the east wall of the kaisel of the east wall of the Beis Hamikdash, which is obviously opposite the kaisel hamaravi that we have now, which we'll see exactly why that is. Sha'koyin hasarif is a parah, right? So basically what happened was that the koyin who burned the parah aduma did it on harazes. And then after he burned it, after he shechted it, he had to take the blood and sprinkle it towards the Kodesh HaKadoshim from Harazesim, right? Harazesim is the next mountain over, as we all know, across from the Harabayas. So he had to sprinkle that blood towards it. So the halacha is that he had to be able to see the Kodesh HaKadoshim, right? So Sha'koyin hasarif is a parah oimid b'hara mishla. He would stand on Hara Mishka. Mishka means oil, so Hara Zesim. Umechuven v'roya keneged piska shel Heichal, and he had to be facing the opening of the Heichal b'shas hazas adam when he's sprinkling the dam towards the Beis Hamikdash. He has to have a straight line seeing through there. Okay. V'tanan kol ha'psachim shayu sham. All the doors that were in the Beis Hamikdash, goivhanas esrim amma, they had a height of 20 amas, v'roichvan eser amas, and they were 10 amas wide. V'tanan lefnin mimenu, and inside the walls was the sayrig, which we had before, right? That's like a fence that told. That's where that's up until that fence. Anybody that's Tamid could go past that fence. Nobody can go, and goyim couldn't go past there either. Midrabanan. That's it. It was the Sairig. V'tnan lifnim mimenu. Inside the Sairig, Hachel was the Chel, right? Which is also another wall, right? So and there's a machlokes where if it was the Chel was around the whole thing or it's not, or and the Sairig also, but whatever it is, but in between after the Sairig came the Chel, which was 10 amas, right? Then after that, there were 12 steps. Rum Milo Chetzi Ama V'Shilcha Chetzi Ama. So the height of the steps was, how do you call it? The part that goes up was a half amma, and then the flat part was also a half amma. Right? There's better words for that. Yeah. Okay, well, whatever it is. So there were 12 steps. What do you say?
The riser.
Oh, the riser, right? Yeah. I'm trying to remember what Shmuley would, what terms Shmuley would use. But right, the riser. The riser is the riser was a half amma, and the step itself was a half amma. Then tesva milos oilos misoicha. Then there were 15 steps from the Ezras Nashim, right? We know the 15 shiramalos was for each one of those steps, right? Hayardos me Ezras Yisrael Ezras Nashim. Those steps went from the Ezras Yisrael down to the Ezras Nashim. Rum Maila Chatzi Amma. So these steps were the same size. The riser was a half amma, V'Shilcha Chatzi Amma, and the part that you put your foot was a half amma. V'Tnan Beina Ulam ul Mizbeach Chaf Beis Amma. Then between the Ulam, right, which is the outside room, the big outside room, and the Mizbeach was 22 amas. Ushtaim Esrim Milas Hayusham, and then from there were another 12 steps. Rum Maila Chetzi Amma V'Shilcha Chetzi Amma. The same thing. The riser was a half amma, and the place where you put your foot was a half amma. The Tanan R Elezar ben Yaakov Omer. He had so that's the Tanakama. R Elezar ben Yaakov had an added amma. R Elezar ben Yaakov Omer Maila Haisa Sham. There was another Maila, another step. Ugavaya amma. It was an amma high. The duchen nasan aleh, and they put a duchen on it. They put like a stage on it. Ubay shalosh mailas shel chatzi amma. And on it there was 3 more steps that were each one was a half an amma, right? So therefore, according to R Elezar ben Yaakov, the Heichal was a amma higher than the Tanakama, right? So Anna Gemara saying the proof. So So if you say that this Mishna is R Elezar ben Yaakov, meaning the Mishna in Midas is R Elezar ben Yaakov, Hainu de Ichsi le Pisva, then the door is going to be blocking your way for you to see. Meaning, if you just look through the door, you're going to hit a wall because that wall was higher than 20 amas. So then the Kohen Gadol sitting on top of Har Zesim, who had to see straight in, right, is going to end up seeing a wall because for him, the wall, it's a little higher because he had that extra steps. But if you say it's the Rabbanon, there's a half a amma, right, where you can see straight through, right, and you wouldn't need to make sure that the eastern wall was lower, right? You should be able, according to the Rabbanon, you should be able to see right over the wall. According to Reb Elezar ben Yaakov, you need to lower that wall in order to see into the Harabayas.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Well, didn't we say the Harabayas is on a big plateau? So how is it that the where the Kohen is standing and doing the shefting on Har Zesim is the same height? I assume that's a given that it's the same height, but I'm puzzled by it.
Well, they say he was on top of a mountain, right? And the Harabayas,
So we're saying the head of the
mountain
mountain is
lifted up 20
horizontal.
amos. That's what I'm saying. So the Harabayas was lifted up 20 or 20 and a half amos. According to Rabban, it's 20 amos. According to right, and according to Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov, was 20 and a half. Right. So I think when you're sitting on a mountain and it's raised up, so then he would be able to see straight in over the walls. I think.
We have no choice. We have to assume that.
I guess so. That's a good teretz, doctor. What are you saying? Somebody saying something? Yeah, okay. But that's what it is. So whatever it is, you see that this Mishnah is Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. So now, second line up from the bottom, Rav Ada bar Hava Amar Hamani Rabbi Yehuda. He says, no. Who says it has to be Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov? Maybe it could be Rabbi Yehuda. The Tanya Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yehuda says, HaMizbeach memutza v'aymed be'emtza azara. He held that the Mizbeach was, memutza means in the middle, and the Mizbeach was exactly in the middle of the Azara. And we know that the Mizbeach was 32 amas wide on Tamid Beis. Eser amma is connected pischa shel Heichal. Then, so meaning it's 32 amas wide. So 10 of the amas were exactly opposite the opening of the Heichal. Yud Aleph amma litzafan, and then there were 11 amas to the north of the door. Yud Aleph amma l'darim, and then there were 11 to the south. Nimtza Mizbeach mechuven connected Heichal v'koislam. The Mizbeach was mechuven exactly opposite the Heichal and its walls. So now what comes out? The Kohen Gadol could never see through the Mizbeach. Meaning he had to see, the Kohen Gadol again is on Har Elezar. He's on the mountain over here. He's looking across through all the doors of the Beis Hamikdash. He's got to see into the Kodesh HaKadoshim. The problem is now, according to Rabbi Yehuda, that the Mizbeach is blocking. The Mizbeach was 10 amas high. Well, 9 amas plus the corners was another amma, right? So therefore you wouldn't be able to see. So the only way to do it is to lower one of the walls, right? And then he could see through that. He could see above it, right? So Mamela, it could be that this mission is going according to Rabbi Yehuda.
What do you
Right?
mean if the argument right now is that the Mizbeach is blocking the sight line? How would lowering a wall help if the Mizbeach is still in the way?
No, if you looked through the doors, it would block it. If you look, in other words, you look, the doors were 20 amas high.
Okay.
So we're saying, so why can't you just open the doors, right? The doors were in a straight line across from Har Elezar.
Right.
Why not
Okay.
just open the doors and you can look straight through the doors?
Right.
So I was saying you can't look straight through the doors because the Mizbeach is blocking the doors.
Right. So the only
So-
way, if you raise the wall or lower the wall, the Mizbeach is still blocking the door. Is what I'm asking. And
No,
how
because
does the answer of lowering something? The Mizbeach is still there.
The Mizbeach is still there, but he's higher than that. No,
No, then the Mizbeach wouldn't be in the way.
His
Mm,
view is
Marshall.
not blocked. With the wall up, with his view would be blocked.
But again, that wasn't, the Gemara said that the Mizbeach is what's blocking his sight, not the wall. So raising and lowering a wall doesn't help if the Mizbeach is what's in his sight line. Right?
no, it does. Because if he's looking through doors,
Right.
Then
and the
what's the
Mizbeach is
problem?
there. The Mizbeach is the problem. You have to move the Mizbeach in order for him to be able to look through.
no, because he's looking over the Mizbeach.
Ah, okay, fine.
He's going over the Mizbeach now.
There you go. Okay, fine. I did.
No, because I was bothered by this. I'm still
Okay.
bothered by it.
I'm
I
like-
go around in circles. I say, 1 second, the Mizbeach's blocking. They say, no, he's higher and he's looking over it, right?
Uh-huh.
Which
So
comes
that
out.
behind the Mizbeach is what has to get lowered for him to see in. Okay, very good. That's what we were missing. Okay.
Yeah. So, but it's interesting because what does it mean he has to see? Rebbaran, we were discussing this morning. What does it mean he has to see the? What exactly does he have to see? The airspace? Does he have to see the floor? He's not seeing the floor of the. What is exactly? He just has to be able to see the airspace. I don't know. Okay.
What's the
Well, the
purpose
floor
of him
wasn't
seeing-
visible anyway. There's a paroichus in between.
Right. That's true.
He had to see the paroichus.
Yeah.
So what's the reason he has to? I mean, is there a time for why he has to do it, or is just that's what they
I
said?
think
the
because
Avodah?
because he has to sprinkle it towards the kodesh, so therefore he has to see it.
Like
that's
it's
what I
like for his
understand.
like a kavanas or like.
I would imagine
Uh-huh.
if he was a chassidish kohen for sure,
Right.
right? But no, I think because that's what he's sprinkling it towards. So then that's the male. That's what he has to.
Okay.
That's what I understand it. But I don't know.
If he was Hasidish, he'd be looking at the Rebbe.
Okay, maybe he's the Rebbe. Mustama, he would be the Rebbe. Okay, but anyways, so let's see weiter. So Visa, now Gemara says Visa Kedaitach. Now the Gemara, that's a Gemara thinks maybe it could be Rebbe Yehuda. So now says Visa Kedaitach meet this Rebbe Yehuda. And if you say that the Mishnah meet this is Rebbe Yehuda, right? Mizbeach be'emtza azara mi mishkachas. If you're going to really want to say it's Rebbe Yehuda, can the Mizbeach be in the middle? But Tanan, we learned in the Mishnah, Kol Azara Haisa Eirach Meo Shmainim V'Sheva. The entire Azara had a length of 187 amas. Al Roichav Mea Ushloishim V'Chamesh. It was on the width of 135. Okay, now the Gemara breaks up where everything was. Min Mizrach L'Mayriv Mea Shmainim V'Sheva. From east to west, it was 187. Makam Drisas Ragli Yisrael Yud Aleph Amud. The area that was meant that regular Yisraelim were allowed to walk was 11 amas, right? But further than that, they couldn't go. Makam Drisas Ragli Kaihanim Yud Aleph Amud. Kaihanim could go another 11 amas, so now we're up to 22 amas. Mizbeach Shloishim V'Shtayim. The Mizbeach was 32, so we're up to 54, right? Between the Ulam and the Mizbeach was another 22. So now we're up to 64, 74, 76. Heichal Kuf Amma, and the Heichal was 100 Amas, so that's 176. And it was 11 Amas behind the Kapyrus. Yeah? Meaning the Kodesh Gedashim. Fine. Min Adoram Litzafin, from south to north was Meo Shloishim V'Chamish, was 135. HaKevesh from Mizbeach Shishim V'Shtayim. The Kevesh together with the Mizbeach was 62 amas. Right? Which is interesting because it's really 64, but they overlapped by 2 amas. The Mizbeach, the ramp, overlapped the Mizbeach with 2 amas. So that's 62. Min Mizbeach Ula Tabois Ches amas. We're going to see later on in the Masechta that there were rings. There were 24 rings for each mishmar, right? There were 24 mishmaris, groups of kehanim that did the avodah in the Beis Hamikdash. There were 24 of them, and each one had a ring where they put their animals in order to shech them. So from the Mizbeach to the rings was 8 amas. Makam atabois esim va'arba. The place for the rings was 24. Min atabois l'shulchanois arba. From those rings to the tables where they they fixed all the animals up was 4 amas. Min ha-shulchanos le-nanosin arba. From the shulchanos to the pillars where they hung up the animals in order to what do you call it? To take off the skins and stuff like that was 4 amas. Min ha-nanosin le-kaisel azara ches amas. From there to the kaisel of the azara was another 8 amas. V'amoisar and the extra one was for between the what do you call it? The ramp to the Mizbeach and the Makam Ananas. Fine. So what do we want for this? Visag Midas Rabbi Yehuda.
Excuse me a minute.
Yeah.
So it's 187 amas from when you went in Shar Nikna till behind the Ulam, and then from the whole where all those lishkas, and that's how big is that? So not
the lishkas were part of that, no?
No, this is that's not Ezra's Nashim. The 187.
You talking about the lishkas that were in the Ezra's Nashim?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how big is that? That's 135, and then it's 187 on top of that. What? I'm trying to the whole length. When you went into from the first shar till the 15 milers, that was how long?
From the first shar to the 15 milers?
Yeah, to the
was how much? I don't know. What did we say on Amud Aleph? We said 22 amas from the Ulam to Mizbeach. Yeah. So what are you getting at?
I'm not sure what I'm getting at. What's 187 amas from where to where? This Amud, the 187 is from where to where?
From the Ezras Nashim all the way till the end of the Kodesh HaKadoshim.
So the whole binyan was 187. That was it.
No, that's besides for the Ezras Nashim.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, that's besides for the Ezras Nashim.
Okay.
None of these charts have the Amos next to it. Any of these charts have the Amos?
I mean, it's okay. The one I'm looking at doesn't. I don't think.
Doesn't it? It's not. Maybe it's not to scale. Is it to scale?
I don't know.
I'm gonna pull up Dr. Corman's thing that he posted. It doesn't say. I don't think it does. It say measurements on there?
Yes, it does. It does. In the art scrolls and diagram C, all the different where everything is in terms of how many amas
But
each
it does say the amas?
areas. Yeah. It's
So
on
how
the
many
left
amas
side.
altogether? Yeah, I mean, it's drawn to
On
scale.
the left side, on the left side of all the the Mizbeach and everything else, you'll see the different numbers.
Right. Yeah. Okay, but anyway, so what's the Gemara want with all this?
One second. I don't think the horizontals are to scale. I think obviously the vertical is.
Why?
Look at the Ezras Nashim. It's not like 3 feet.
Ezras Nashim was 135 by 135.
Oh, it was 135. Okay, fine. I see.
Ezras Nashim is 135 by 135. The Azara is 187 by 135. Right. So it's 1/3. The width of the Beis Hamikdash is 135. Ezras Nashim is also the length of the Ezras Nashim is 135, so that's a square. And the Azara has an extra 52 length. The Azara has 52 amas more.
So it's 322 amas long, the whole binyan.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine. That's right. Fine. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so what does the Gemara want? Midas Rabbi Yehudi. And if you say that the Mishnah Midas is Rabbi Yehudi, Mizbeach v'emtza Azara mi mishkachas lei. Right? Because here, this Mishnah is saying that the Mizbeach was in the middle, right? So can it be in the middle? Haruba the Mizbeach b'daram koi. The way we just said it is Roiv of the Mizbeach is in the south, right? That's how we split up when the Mishnah was going through where everything is. The Mizbeach is off center. So how can you say that it's Rabbi Yehuda? So I'm going to answer.
I don't understand why. What I'm saying, all you have to do is move his Mizbeach up a little bit in order to block the sight line. No, why does it have to be directly in the middle to block the sight line? I don't know where the sight line is, but why can't you move it up a little bit? They left over 21 amas.
You move over to Mizbeach.
I mean, how many amas does it have to move up in order to block the sight line? More to the north.
I don't know, but right now the Gemara is just handling who can be. How could it be Rabbi Yehuda? Right. That's all. It's just trying because we were trying to say it's Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. Then we said no, maybe it could be Rabbi Yehuda because the Mizbeach's in the middle, so that's why you had to lower the outside wall. And now it's right, so maybe it's Rabbi Yehuda. Now the Gemara is saying it can't be Rabbi Yehuda because Rabbi Yehuda. It would have to be the Mishnah and Midas has to be Rabbi Yehuda holds it's in the middle, and the Mishnah and Midas clearly holds that it's off center, right? So it's clearly off center. So that's right. It's more towards which way is that facing? Right. It's much more towards the south. It's much the way this picture has it. It's not in the middle. Right, so it's more towards the south. So there's no way it could be Rabbi Yehuda. That's all the Gemara is saying now. I mean, you're asking on the previous Gemara, why couldn't they just move the Mizbeach over so that the Kohen could see all the way through? That's what you're saying. I don't know. Maybe just for the Efer Parah, which was only 8 of them throughout all the Batei Mikdash. Maybe they weren't going to mess with where the Mizbeach should go just for that. I don't know. Whatever it is, so we just finish up the daf here. Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. So it tells us that it's Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov, and that's it. So that's the Brisa is the Mishnah is going according to Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. Okay, we could stop here. I hope it was semi-understandable. But
is there a machlokas where the Mizbeach was? Is that what they're arguing about?
Yes. Yeah.
Was there a difference between Bayis Rishon and Bayis Sheni where the Mizbeach was?
I have no idea.
I'm only
Could be.
asking because why would the Tanoim that were living during the times of the Bayis Sheni not weigh in on this? They were there.
Right. I hear.
I had the exact same shadow throughout this whole sugya. I did not understand, like, where's Rabbi Akiva in all this? Unless they didn't, there was no
Right.
Maser from Rabbi Akiva. Like, they didn't remember what Rabbi Akiva said.
But it
Like,
wasn't just Rabbi Akiva. There's so many other Tanoim. It can't be.
all the Torah, though, came from Rabbi Akiva.
Well, to those 5 Tamidim, but
There's nobody else that has, there's no Maser besides for that. I'm saying that the Tanakh, all the Tamidim are where the
Reb
Mishnayos
Chanina
come from.
Skana Kainim was in the Beis Hamikdash. Did avoided it.
Rabbi Shmuel
Right,
Kohen
but here-
Gadol was
right,
in the
but
Beis
here he
Hamikdash
doesn't
doing the
weigh in.
Avodah. Tia Rabbi Shmuel.
Right, but you're saying here it seems to be.
Here it seems to be later generations of Tanoim arguing. But where
They
were the
must
earlier
not-
generations?
Could it be that the Tanoim who were around during the Beis Hamikdash possibly maybe felt it was mundane to talk about the size? They knew it, they saw it. Only the ones afterwards could speak about the size.
I hear. Yeah, but you would think that there would be a Messiah of what it was. They saw with their own eyes. A generation or two later, there should be some sort of Messiah.
Not unless
Clarity.
they thought that wasn't, if the Tanoim there thought that wasn't Torah lahalacha that had to be passed down. So now the later Tanoim would learn it out of wherever, the psukim, that things had to be where they had to be. So Mamela, they have machlokes about where exactly things were. The mashal, the kier had to be between the Mizbeach and the Ula.
In the Heichal, yeah.
Right? It's a big machlokes where that was. Depends where the Mizbeach was. Did it have to be
That's what I was
exactly
asking.
between, or in the spot between? It's a 4-way machlokes where everything.
That's what I was asking if things were a little bit different from Bayis Rishon to Bayis Sheni. And maybe he's trying to figure out Bayis Rishon.
Was.
What?
There wouldn't have brought it down because it's not negay lahalacha. They saw it b'metzias. They wouldn't have said, "Oh, lahalacha it has to go here." No, it was.
What are you saying?
Yeah.
Cut out.
Totally.
Rabbi Yaakov,
What?
can I ask a question from a couple of days ago's Daf?
Why not? It can only
with
it
the-
can't get worse than today's stuff. I'm saying what
No, with the second wife for the potential second wife for the Kohen Gadol.
right.
This was every year you had all these women who were quasi married to the Kohen Gadol that then couldn't, like, then what do you do with them? I mean, like they can't get married. Like, how do they get married? Meaning,
No, they got divorced. They
got
they
divorced
wrote-
and then they can only get married to somebody who's not a Kohen, right?
Oh, yeah, that's what you're saying.
Meaning who's signing up for that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
Is it a din in Bula Psula? I don't know. Is it a din in Bula Psula for a Kohen or not?
No, I don't think so. I think they did Aaron.
Well, she's not a Ba'ula.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So maybe isn't it
I
a
don't
din in
thi- I don't
Taisus
think
in
it-
Yavamas.
I don't
The
think
Kohen
it matters.
Gadol makes it. To the Kohen Gadol, it's still
No, I know. I'm talking about
Arus
for a
is
regular
considered a
Kohen.
Ba'ula.
No,
The
but
Kohen
for a
Head,
regular
it's not.
It's not. So
It has to be
marry
Ba'ula.
so they can marry anybody, except for the Kohen Gadol.
Yeah, it actually has come up in some cases where never they get divorced very, very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Like if there's something very wrong.
Uh-huh.
So if she's still right for a Kohen, I think we say she is. I
Yeah,
think.
but that's today. That's because most of those marriages are considered a Mekach Tos. She was never married.
Gershon, now you're really getting into.
Oh, you're getting into prenups. You're getting into
Yeah.
halachic prenups already.
He probably read Rabbi Bachman's obituary.
No, I have a friend that happened to, unfortunately.
They really, well, I mean, they annul the marriage. That gets into a big. Yeah, you're getting into some.
Listen, Reb Shmuel Kamenetsky Paskin on it. It was bad.
You're talking about the famous case where Nata?
No, a friend of mine.
Okay, it's got a guy has to be somebody's friend. I didn't mean that. I was sorry. That didn't come
That came out wrong, right?
Sorry, that didn't come out right. That wasn't
No,
my
I definitely gonna have to go back to the videotape because I missed that one. But if everybody's laughing,
Ready for editing on that one.
what did I miss? Was that my mother?
This sounds like the after party.
Yeah, it's true. No, there was a case.
No, but today they're all scared. They're all scared to say it's a mekirtos. That's some they are mekirtos, but they all didn't get like suba, just in case it's not, because they're scared to pass it's a mekirtos. But a lot of the cases today are real mekirtoses. So the kedusha is not chal, but she was never married.
Right.
I mean, which is really a shaila on the Gemara, yesterday's Gemara. If he's marrying Al Tanai, that what's it called? That his wife dies, and then he should therefore have it. If she doesn't die, why is the kedushin not batal? The whole kedushin was Al Tanai.
Right.
She should never be married. Why does she need a get even?
Well, I mean, here in this case.
Yeah. I mean, she needs a get just in case something goes wrong. But if nothing goes wrong, if his wife lives and everyone's fine, then she doesn't really need the get.
Right.
So it could be it's stuck in Mecca, so she'll be able to marry anyone after.
Oh, here, I think it would be for a regular kohen. I think, or it would be that she's a psula. That she has a din psula, not a beula. So maybe she's okay.
Okay.
I think.
Or they keep bringing back the same person because she really wants to marry the kohen gadol.
You mean she would be?
Yuri, then next year
she can't do that.
Old. She's too old. She's only good for 1 year. She's too old.
No, also she's a grusha. I mean, she's like whatever. It's like kohen gadol can't even. It's a one and done. All right.
Yeah.
All
right. Tomorrow's daf should really be fast.
Yeah. No kidding. They have a Yaakov. Yeah, there you are. I don't know. Screen moved. They have a thing in the community here. Like the whole prenup, post-nup thing. Really?
I'm here. I don't know, something flashed on my screen.
Like some halachic prenup, halachic post-nup, nuptial thing. What's shot?
Yeah, what are you talking about? The RCA's prenup?
Yeah. No, they're doing like a whole thing here in Boca for it by the shul. Like trying to get people that are meaning
there's a bunch of places that are pushing for
people that didn't do it before they got married to do like a halachic prenup, so now after they're married,
Oh, they're doing it after they got married?
Do you get like a discount on shul membership if you sign up?
I wish. The one thing they don't discount in my place is shul membership. No, I'm saying they're trying to get people because there have been a lot of cases of agunas here, so like they're trying to minimize that, and it's weird. I'm just like it's very foreign to me. So I'm curious what the take was.
I never heard of them doing it after they're married. How does that work after you're married?
I have no idea. I didn't know. This is the first I heard of it, so I didn't even know these things existed. You
never heard of the RCA one? It's even becoming accepted in the yeshiva world.
I didn't even get legally married when I got married. Like I got legally married like months later.
Right, me too. Right, yeah.
Saying like it wasn't. Now it's like I know certain Rabbanim won't be a Masada Kedusha unless you have you're legally married as in conjunction with with the Kedushin. So and
Tiago, have you ever talked to Nat about this one?
Nope, I never talked to Nat about it.
It'll be an interesting conversation if you ever ask.
Well, he's not pro.
it's not that he's not pro. He's not pro the Rabbanim trying to force people to do things that are not needed by the halacha.
I hear. What do you mean? But it's not. These rabbis are claiming that it is needed by the halacha.
It's protecting the fact that, listen, you know how many people got married and they didn't think this was ever going to be a problem, but it ends up being a problem, right? So at that time it wasn't needed, but now it is, you know? So had they had it before, they wouldn't have gotten into the issue.
Right. Well, whatever. I mean, I could hear. It's not a prenup because of the finances like the goyim.
No, it's for so she's not an aguna.
Correct. Yeah.
It's really so that the moistus and rabbanim and yeshivas can get out of teaching what they really should be teaching. Halacha.
You said, oh, I thought you meant how to be like a normal person. And if you want,
Well, that's part of it. That's what halacha means. Halacha means the way. That's what it means.
You can teach all you want.
How we should
sometimes.
act.
Yeah, you can teach all you want sometimes, but people also just switch goes off and they just become different. You know, like
that's true in some cases, and in those cases, are those people going to sign a prenup? But probably not.
Not well. Maybe at the time they got married, they would have done it, but you know, now they definitely, you know.
I hear.
People change over a marriage, you know.
Especially a bitter one.
True.
It's Yaakov, special guest on the daf tonight.
Oh, there you go. It's not pizza tonight, though.
Pan fried seared chicken on the cast iron.
Oh yeah. Jealous.
Okay, it's leftovers. I decided not to throw it out. I decided let me pan fry it.
There you go.
I'm doing freshly seared lungs.
Yaakov, you got what I sent you? It's kosher, Yaakov, or no?
I didn't have time to look at it, Parrots. I didn't have time to look at it.
Ah, okay.
Ori, what'd you name the baby?
Emuna Nechama.
Emuna Nechama. Very nice. You should have a lot of nachas from her.
I mean, thank you.
All right. Fine.
Shkayach. Thank you so much.
Shkayach. Good night.
Okay, bye-bye.
Parrot.
Yeah.
Thank you, by the way, for the. I have to give credit where credit is due. The suvide and the searing, was spectacular.
Oh, on the steaks?
Yeah.
I told her.
Iggy, I'm going to send you some pictures that I got going for the next Siyum.
I want to see.
I enticed somebody to join us, and so far he's still with us.
Yeah.
I promised an entire rack of ribs. The whole thing. It weighs 40 pounds. I'll show you.
That's bigger than an export.
Yeah, it's the export, but it's the
primal.
It's the whole rib.
The rib primal.
Hard to see it from there.
You gotta send me that one.
See what I'm talking about or no? Hold on.
Yeah.
You can probably see it.
Yeah, I see it.
Umami bags. These umami bags to age it.
I never saw that.
They're bags basically that work it's one way. It allows the stuff to escape but not penetrate. So you can put it in the fridge and leave it.
You put the whole thing or you slice it?
No, the whole thing. But it's so big it doesn't fit the largest bags they have. So this is what we got now.
Wow. Where is that?
It's in my basement.
Nobody
knows about it. It's a secret. I snuck it in through the back door.
It's a refrigerator?
It's like a 128 can refrigerator. Took the shelves out. Just got it tonight at BJ's. $150 something.
But you put a fan in? What'd you do?
I'm gonna put in a little mini fan, clip-on fan. This is what we call the divorce refrigerator.
How long are you aging for?
I would put it in until they see him.
Oh my, you're serious? Oof.
Yeah. Listen, promise is a promise. I'm a man of my word.
What they
Either
have
that,
to come
or
all-
either that, or if they don't do it, they're gonna pay me. That's
they got to
the
do
deal.
the whole thing.
They got still tell Yuma if they clock out, done.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
I'm
chashiv.
supposed to get 2 of them. I only got 1. Baruch Hashem.
Right, yeah. A guy after what's it called? So one of the guys who came to see him because I made a see him on.
I'm getting ready for my son's bar mitzvah.
Yeah, that one you showed me. Yeah.
Started
So
making
one of
beef
the
bacon last night.
you got to send me pictures of that one. One of the guys who was there told me that he went home after the siyum. I made a siyum on Shabbos,
right?
And he told his wife that she had to go on Amazon that night and order a suvide.
Are you serious? Just had my sister just bought one. It was $50 or something.
Yeah, they had one
She
on
loves
sale.
it. I bought one for Pesach. I had.
Yeah, it was good.
I said L'Kavod Yom Tov, $50. It was worth it. I made my roast. I made this. I made that. Everything was. Yaakov made a whole barbecue here for his chevra.
Yeah, well worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I got to put a couch together, man. I'll speak
See you
to you.
later. Have fun.